Good afternoon, members of the committee. We'll call to order the Committee on Jobs and Economic Development. It is Monday, March 20th, and quorum is present. Today, we will be hearing Senate File 2109 and 2110 from Senator Hauschild, Senator Hauschild, Senate File 2354 from Senator Carlson, Senate File 2571 from Senator Pappas, Senate File 2085 and 2595 from Senator Kupec, and Senate File 2634 from Senator Hoffman, and Senate File 2507 from Senator Westrom. As you can see, we have a very full agenda today, so we will be limiting all testifiers to 2 minutes. We'll start with Senator Hauschild. You can begin your testimony.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. Today we have, and I'll try to go quickly through these. Today we have Senate File 2109. This bill provides the Commissioner of the Department of Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation the authority to design and implement programs to manage employee separation, retention, and recruitment. This request is not a monetary request, but is a request for the authority to establish a separation and retention incentive program. This has been done previously. In the last several years, there have been 3 instances where this has occurred, where the agency has been able to create these programs in order to better create a process so that they're staffed appropriately. This is supported bipartisanly by all the IRRB legislative board members, and today I do have one testifier for this bill, Linda Johnson, who's the Director of Mining and Property Development at the IRRB.
Awesome. Thank you, Senator Hauschild. If you want to say your full name for the record, you can begin your testimony.
Linda Johnson, Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation. Madam Chair, committee members, the agency has a complement of 42 employees, of which 11 or 26% are at near retirement eligibility. Average length of state service for IRRR employees is 16 years. The average age of agency employees is 52 versus 46 from other state agencies. The Separation Incentive Retention Program would assist the agency in strategically transitioning its workforce and hire new employees in a labor market with unprecedented low unemployment rates. It also can assist the challenge of recruiting employees in a rural location. Under the authority of this provision, the agency will have the flexibility in the use of compensation and reward incentives that support retention strategies and best practices that are valued by employees, such as linking compensation and benefit payouts to years of service. The authority will support and controlled approach to turnover and recruit and help position the agency for success during a period of reorganization. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Members, questions for Senator Hauschild or his testifier? Senator Hauschild?
I have nothing to add, Madam Chair. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. This bill will be laid over for possible inclusion. Senator Hauschild, you also have Senate File 2110.
That's right, Madam Chair and members of the committee. The Department of Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation is the owner of land and recreation facilities within the Giants Ridge Recreation Area. If you haven't been there, please visit. It's pretty remarkable. This is comprised of many recreational amenities, including downhill skiing and golfing. This legislation would create an account where the agency could invest funds over a period of years. This proposal is modeled after the Stillwater Lift Bridge Endowment Account. Today I have one testifier for this bill, also Linda Johnson, the Director of Mining and Property Development, and there may be a friendly amendment as well, but we'll wait for that.
Okay, great. Linda, if you want to state your name for the record one more time.
Linda Johnson, Department of Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation. Madam Chair, committee members, Giants Ridge, as Senator Hauschild had mentioned, is the centerpiece of recreation and our diversification of the east end of the Iron Range. It averages about a $55 million economic impact. Back in 1984, the agency purchased it for $68,000. Over 30 plus years, we've invested millions, and the agency has continued to age. And so part of this strategy is to seek the permission to create an account which would be invested with the State Board of Investment to grow funding that would be strictly the agencies and not general fund dollars, whereby which it would grow over a period of time, and futuristically, we would tap into that account for our operations and maintenance of the facility.
Thank you, Linda. Senator Hauschild, do you have an amendment?
I think there might have been another, okay, maybe there isn't. I heard that there might possibly be one, but otherwise, if not, that's okay.
Okay, I haven't heard of one, and I think Senator
Okay.
Draham is joking. Members, questions for Senator Hauschild or his testifier? Senator Hauschild, any closing comments?
Nothing else to add, Madam Chair. Thank you so much for the consideration.
Awesome, thank you. With that, this bill will be laid over for possible inclusion. All right, next we have Senator Carlson. Please approach the testifier table, and you can begin to present. And if you have testifiers with you, they can come with you. Begin to present Senate File 2354. Senator Carlson, you also have the A1 amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have Senate File 2354, which is a Robotics and STEM internships appropriation. And we do have an amendment that is not my amendment, so it's not an author's amendment. It is actually from Senator Jasinski, and it is the A1 amendment.
Awesome, thank you. Senator Draham will be offering the amendment. Okay, great. Senator Draham offered the A1 amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The amendment passes. All right, Senator Carlson, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate File 2354 is a straightforward bill that would appropriate $3 million in fiscal year 2024 from the general fund to the Commissioner of Employment, Economic Development, DEED, for a grant for First Upper Midwest Robotics. Now, the amendment makes it so that it is a competitive grant. So it's now a competitive grant. Of this amount, $2 million is for creating internships for high school students to work at private companies in science, technology, engineering, and math fields, including some student stipends. Senator Jasinski is the co-author on the bill, and he was the one that drafted the A1 amendment, which would make this the competitive grant that I mentioned. So various robotics organizations can apply for the program funding. I considered this as a friendly amendment, and thank you for passing that amendment. With me today are some FIRST robotics experts and an Edina High School student currently in the program to speak on the need for this legislation and help to answer any questions. Madam Chair, I'm offering my testifiers.
Awesome, thank you, Senator Carlson. If you want to state your name for the record, you can begin your testimony, and please keep it to 2 minutes.
Sure. My name is Nicole Shasso. I'm the Regional Director for FIRST Robotics Competition in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. I'm here today to say that we have incredible students like George who are seeking career experience, and our hope is to be able to connect them with our employers in our state in order to be able to retain that talent and that knowledge base. So I want to be able to allow George to speak to you more because he will impress you way more than me. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I will concede to him.
Awesome, thank you, George. If you want to state your name for the record, you can begin your testimony.
Sure. Good morning, members of the chair. My name is George Rerat, and I'm from Team 1816, The Green Machine, which is based in Edina, Minnesota. Our team has a mission statement, which is to create bold, confident leaders who transform culture to promote, value, and celebrate STEM. We do this through our core values of respect, trust, inclusivity, commitment, and joy of life. I joined Team 1816 over the summer after I became friends with one of the captains of our team, and I have been privileged enough to quickly rise through the ranks of our team, where I am now an assistant captain. I joined the team thinking that I was going to maybe pick up a few skills here and there, but little did I know that I was in to learn a lot about not only the STEM field, but leadership and communication skills that I would never be able to learn in school. During my time as assistant captain, I've had to very quickly learn how to handle personnel problems when we have disagreements on our team. I've had to learn how to manage logistics, and I've had to really grow my communication skills and my ability to lead people. Aside from that, my mentors have really pushed me to be my best self. My mentors such as Michael Woolsey and Allison Purdy, Miss Purdy being a teacher at Hopkins High School, has really allowed me to learn a lot about how I can apply myself in a professional setting. And I think that this is really an experience that every student in the state of Minnesota should be able to have if they so desire.
Thank you, George. Also wanted to tell you that our CA, Tom, is a Edina High School alum, so go Hornets. That's exciting. Next we have, questions for Senator Carlson or his testifiers, members? I got really excited about that one, you can tell. No questions? All right, seeing none, we have one more testifier. I apologize.
That's okay. My name is Mark Lawrence. I've had the privilege of mentoring now for 18 years, and I wear a number of hats. I'm on the executive advisory board. At events, I do load-in and a number of things. But first and foremost, I'm a mentor. And what we're trying to do with this bill is we're trying to elevate the role that FIRST has in these students' lives. As mentors, we're professionals from various parts of industry, and there's a lot of engineers, but we also have business people. On our team, we have an intellectual property lawyer who's a mentor. So these students get exposed to a variety of professional people, and we're there to guide the students. A lot of people talk about coaches. We're really not coaches, we're mentors. And what we'd like to do with this bill is we'd like to extend that actually into the workforce. So not only will they learn from us in the day-to-day operations of a team, but then beyond that, we want to provide opportunities for them to go out into the workforce and actually see how exciting some of these fields are. I think the thing that we run into most often is when students come on the team, they have no idea, what does an engineer do? What does a scientist do? What does a business person do? What does a manager do? And how are these things run? And what we'd like to do with this bill is we'd like to extend that actually into the workforce so that we get these students. You've all seen the statistics. The number of students going into college and post-secondary work is going down. And we want to make sure that we get these students engaged at the high school level so that we can build our workforce as we go forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. That's really important. I had my own mentors, so really appreciate the work you're doing. Members, questions for, all right, Senator Gustafson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No question, just a comment to say how much I love this program. My kids go to Mounds View High School, and they have something similar. I'm not sure if it is the same program that you're using, but it engaged all sorts of kids who might not have found a club that they really felt at home with. And then, as you said, it led to some jobs and internships, and then that led to, of course, some college opportunities for them. So I think this is great, and I want to thank the students for being here. I know it's probably not easy to testify in front of a Senate committee, but you did a great job, and you're welcome back anytime. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Senator Gustafson. Senator Herr.
Thank you, Chair Mohammed. Just have a question to Senator Carlson. Oh, yeah. And testifier as well, if it's relevant. Is this money going through the entire state or just certain region?
Madam Chair.
Senator
Madam
Carlson.
Chair and Senator Herr, this will be available to any school in the state. It's a grant program, so they have to apply for it, and it's applied through deed.
Okay.
Senator Herr.
Wonderful, and I wholeheartedly support the same wording that Senator Gustafson just say is great for our children, giving them challenge and to compete with one another for the long haul in the future. So, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Senator Herr. Any other questions, members? Seeing none, this bill will be laid over for possible inclusion. Thank you, Senator Carlson.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I do have some closing remarks that
Please go
I'd like
ahead.
to make as possible. As a retired mechanical engineer and a robotics judge, I know the importance and the impact these education programs have on young people. I have been somewhat involved in this for 15 years. And it was 15 years ago that I went to my local high school to view the team working on their robots. And I was only going to stop by for 15 minutes. 3.5 hours later, I left, realizing that this is why I became an engineer. This is what these people have ahead of them. There is a workforce shortage, and we know that careers in STEM continue to grow. This funding will help prepare youth for careers in science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM fields. This is a bipartisan bill, so I encourage a positive vote. And also, at this time, I need to put in a plug. The plug is that our upcoming STEM Day here in the Capitol is going to be Wednesday, April 12th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the Rotunda. This is an annual event to showcase STEM programs and advocate for funding, so more information will be coming. So thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee, and I return Senate File 2354 to your care.
Awesome. Thank you, Senator Carlson. We appreciate you. And the bill will be laid over for possible inclusion.
Thank you.
Senator Putnam, I understand you are pinch hitting for Senator Westrom. If you can go to the testifier with your testifier, Jamie, you can begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And as you noted, I am not, nor have I ever been, Senator Tory Westrom. I am a poor substitute, but still I'm very excited about this bill and the issue it addresses. Members, if you could just take a second, and maybe everyone in the room, think about your very first job ever. Think about your very first job ever. Maybe you were washing dishes, or maybe you were bagging groceries in a grocery store. There's a good chance that that's what you were doing. You maybe at that time didn't even realize that there was a tremendous career path in front of you, and you didn't even know it. The program that we're talking about today is Carts to Careers. It's an opportunity to take people who are already interested in doing a job and helping them envision it as an actual life-sustaining, lifelong career. The bill we have before us, Madam Chair, members, Senate File 2507, provides funding for the Carts to Career program, which is a statewide initiative to promote careers within the retail food industry. It's $100,000 per year, cheap, appropriation out of the Workforce Development Fund to the Minnesota Grocers Association. And as you're going to hear from the testifiers, it's an exciting program that provides a good investment for our state. Our first testifier is Jamie Poole, President of the Minnesota Grocers Association Foundation.
Awesome. Thank you, Senator Putnam. If you want to state your name for the record, Jamie, and begin your testimony, please keep it to 2 minutes.
Chair Mohammed, members of the committee, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today. I am Jamie Poole, President of the Minnesota Grocers Association and the Minnesota Grocers Association Foundation. We want to thank Senator Putnam for pitch hitting today and wish Senator Westrom a speedy recovery. I'm here to speak on our sister association, the Minnesota Grocers Foundation, today. It was established in 1992 to offer tuition grants, scholarships, and community efforts and initiatives. We are Main Street, Minnesota, with hundreds of small-town hometown grocers and convenience store, many of who are independently, multi-generational, and locally owned. We have over 300 members with 1,300 locations statewide, as well as food producers, manufacturers, brokers, and wholesalers. We employ both union and non-union workers. From farm to fork, our industry is incredibly labor-intensive. 1 out of every 20 jobs in this great state belongs to us. But we are not just jobs. We are opportunities for a lifetime career with great benefits, and we support a diverse workforce. And as Senator Putnam, said, it does seem just about everyone has worked in a grocery or convenience store at some point in their lives, and their memories are always fond. Our objective with this is to get a career path for advancing high-level and engaging careers. So the Carts to Careers program is a multi-pronged approach to expanding industry's workforce. This has an exciting potential to build on existing workers with steady careers. It kicked off in 2019 with funding provided from DEED. Our first initiative is with Alexandria Technical College. They offer an industry-based online platform to springboard learners to the next level. It's called the Retail Management Certificate Program. There's information in your packets. This is a great collaborative environment for students. It's nationally recognized, and it builds and prepares and strengthens their skill sets. It's an 8-course, 2-year program, and credits can be transferred to a 4-year degree. This program shows participants what they're capable of achieving. We have 19 graduates so far, 50 students working through the program, with a 15 to 20 student cohort beginning in the spring. They come from a variety of backgrounds and all across the state. And even through the pandemic, these students have been able to excel. We're working on 2 additional programs to support labor shortages. One is a driver training program. It brings warehouse workers in the opportunity to become drivers. They get CDL, safety training, and technical college. We're expecting our first students this fall. We're also working with Ridgeway College in Wilmer to establish a meat cutting training program. The exciting part about this is that grants are coming from the Department of Ag to support the program, and we can then support the student learners.
If you want to wrap it up.
I will. I'm all done. Thank you. I want to note that all of these programs are supported by their sponsoring company or employer by 50%. Again, we greatly appreciate the opportunity, and we have brought some testifiers through Zoom with us today. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We will go to the Zoom testifiers next. Joe Seifer, and I hope I said your name right. If you want to say your name for the record, you can begin your testimony. Please keep it to 2 minutes.
Yes, Chair Champion. Thank you, Chair Champion, members of the committee. I am Joe Seifert, Cub Foods and Shoppers Food Warehouse Customer Care Representative from Stillwater, Minnesota. I am currently enrolled in the Retail Management Certificate Program through Alexandria Technical and Community College, and I'm here to tell you about my experience with the program. I began the Retail Management Certificate Program in January of 2022. I am currently in my second to last class of the program. The program is highly valued in my organization and is promoted to employees interested in growing their careers within the retail or within the company and the retail space. Several employees I knew had already completed or started the program and were enthusiastic about the opportunity. Based on my interest, great feedback from employees, and the company's support, I elected to begin the program. I believe continuing education opportunities are imperative to building and retaining successful employees. I feel the Retail Management Certificate Program has been an excellent learning experience for me. It has reinforced concepts I was familiar with, and building upon that, new information and knowledge which directly applies to my career with Cub and Shoppers. I feel the classes and instructors are supportive, positive, and engaging for those seeking advancement in the retail space. Participation in this program has allowed me to increase my responsibilities and effectiveness in my current position. It has added confidence in my role and prepared me to interview for and accept potential future advancement within the company. Thank you, Madam Chair and Committee, for your time, and I hope you will consider supporting this valuable program.
Thank you so much, Joe. Next, we'll go to John Baker, also on Zoom. If you want to state your name for the record, John, and keep your testimony to 2 minutes.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, my name is John Becker. I am the store manager at Teals Market in Isle, Minnesota. I am a graduate of the Retail Management Certification Program, and I am here today to tell you about my experience and how it enabled me to grow professionally. To begin, I was one of the first individuals to be selected for this program from our company. I didn't know quite what to expect, but I knew it was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. What appealed to me about this program was that it would be focused specifically on my current job situation. It allowed me to do the program remotely at my own pace while continuing to work full-time. I easily found a balance between work and school so that I didn't have to change my work schedule. Oftentimes, I would find myself learning something that I could apply to everyday scenarios, such as learning how to deal with an employee or a customer, or something as simple as learning how to format an email. This program gives individuals like myself the ability to receive the training and education that we wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. This program focuses on one class at a time, which alone made it feel more attainable in terms of accomplishment. And finally, the retail management program can open the door to career advancement opportunities. In my situation, it allowed me to climb the ladder, so to say, from a department manager to the store manager. And currently, my assistant manager is enrolled in the program and is wrapping up her last class. And part of her promotion was due in part to having completed this program. Overall, I believe this program can be beneficial to anyone in a management role and can open the door to new opportunities. Madam Chair and the committee, thank you for your time, and I hope you will consider supporting this program.
Thank you so much, John. Next, we'll go to Tyler Erickson, who's also on Zoom.
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I'm Tyler Erickson. I'm the Organizational Development Specialist with Coburn's, and I'm here to speak in support of the Senate File 2507 and the Carts to Careers Initiative. Coburn's is one of the largest grocers in the upper Midwest. We employ over 9,000 people in 70 stores across Minnesota and the overall region. We pride ourselves in our support of the community, not just in the St. Cloud area where our headquarters are based, but in all the communities that we support as a company. For us to thrive, employee development, leadership development is absolutely critical for us. So in partnership with the Minnesota Grocers Association, our company has utilized the Carts to Careers program to help recruit and retain team members, several of whom have advanced into leadership roles. So the Carts to Careers program for us allows employees to get college credit and gain valuable skills that help them further their career with Coburn's. For a lot of these employees, it is one of the best avenues they have to actually be able to attend college and gain college credit. And it's something that they can use in the future, not just to grow with Coburn's, but in their career in general. And, take that credit, use it at a four-year institution, and gain a four-year degree. They learn both soft skills and leadership and practical skills, both of which help prepare them to lead teams of people and achieve results. So we've seen numerous employees advance in their career after completing the program. Just last year was the last time a graduate of the RMC program for us became a store director in our company. And that is not the first one. We've had many advances as well. Casey, who you will hear from in a moment, is also a great example. She completed the program recently, and she's moving into a facilitator role at our corporate headquarters. That's going to impact employees across the company. So the point is that it doesn't just benefit the person who's taking it. They take what they learn and they're able to impact hundreds of employees or more that they're supervising and help them grow their careers as well. External support through the Carts to Careers program ensures that we're able to continue enrolling employees in the program and that we get the maximum
Tyler,
benefit.
if you want to wrap it up, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Madam Chair, for your time, and Senator Putnam for your leadership on the issue. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you have more to say, you can write us, and we'll make sure it gets to the members. I'm keeping a tight ship for Senator Champion. And then finally, we have Casey Flanagan Hernandez. If you want to state your name for the record and keep it to 2 minutes, that would be wonderful.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the committee, I am Casey Flanagan Hernandez. I've been with Coburn's Inc. for more than 17 years, and I am a graduate of the Retail Management Certificate Program through Alexandria Tech and Community College. I'm super excited to tell you about my experience in the program. Throughout the 2 years of the program, I was able to learn and grow through the many different courses and experiences that I wouldn't have had otherwise without this opportunity. This program is beneficial to people working retail who have not previously had the opportunity to further their education, but have had a lot of passion and want to develop their skills to become future leaders in the grocery industry. Before participating in this program, I had many skills and a lot of knowledge about the retail business based on my years of service. However, I never had the technical tools to help me feel confident in my role or the encouragement to grow. Since graduating with my retail management certificate, I was fortunate enough to find my new passion within the human resources team. And this program helped me find my way and guided me to where I belong in the retail field. So thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee, for your time, and I hope you will consider supporting this valuable program.
Thank you so much, Casey. We appreciate you. Members, questions for Senator Housley?
You know it. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Senator Putnam and Senator Westrom, and Senator Housley for bringing this bill forward. It was so great to be able to hear from some of the students that are either in it or have graduated from it, especially Joe from Stillwater, Go Ponies. But I was wondering, Ms. Poole, how many applications did you get? This just started in 2021, right?
Madam Chair, it started in 2019.
Okay.
And currently, well, throughout the entire program, we've had 68 students go through the program. We've been fortunate that we've not had to turn anyone away. So, and we've had just a small amount of attrition through COVID. A few folks couldn't quite manage, but we've got, most all have moved through, and again, 19 of those have graduated.
Senator Housley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, thank you so much. It's looking to be very successful, so thank you for bringing this forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Housley. Senator Nelson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a great bill. I'm very supportive. I know we've visited about this before. It's always great to build on great success stories. I just have one question that I can't find the answer to in the materials. If you have it now, great. If not, maybe just get back to me. I see the note from Alexandria Technical and Community College. I just want to know how many other higher ed institutions do you have some sort of collaborative agreement with to make this work?
Jamie?
Chair Mohammed, thank you. Currently, we are just doing it with the Alexandria Technical College. It is the retail certificate program is a national program, and they are the only ones that have the platform to do it in Minnesota, and we want to keep this a circular program. We are working with Ridgeway to build the meat cutter program, and that's coming in the future.
Senator Nelson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Are you working with, I think it's just such a great program, and I also appreciate the specialty that you're bringing to individual community colleges. Are you limited to just those two colleges now, and are you looking at expanding?
Jamie?
Chair Mohammed, Senator Nelson, we would be delighted to expand the program to any colleges within the state. We really do think it's important that we are circular, but we would be happy to expand to any colleges that we're willing to get the platform going, for sure.
Thank
Senator
you.
Nelson, awesome. Senator Draham?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for subbing in the chief author role, Senator Putnam. I just wanted to make a comment about how important I think this program is. You know, the groceries stores in my area are on the smaller side, and they really struggle finding employees. And I think this program helps develop a labor pool that is really missing. That I think, you know, we've done legislation in the past about food deserts. And, you know, when you're talking metro food deserts, you're talking blocks, literally, where in my area, you're talking 30, 40, 50 miles. So I just appreciate the program, and thank you for subbing. Thanks.
Thank you, Senator Draham. Senator Pratt?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this will, you know, I recall some of the conversation we had back in 2021, but maybe for the committee, you mentioned that you started the program in 2019 and you got your first appropriation in 2021 from the state. Can you tell me how you utilize that appropriation? And then second, I noticed that it's different than what we passed last budget cycle, and maybe explain why it's changing and what changes you're making to the program.
Jamie?
Chair Mohammed, Senator Pratt, thank you for obviously you've been a supporter of this program. So the funds, most all of the funds are going to the students themselves to get through the courses. Again, that is matched with the sponsoring employer. We think that is important. Also through some marketing, we do some additional marketing for that. It was a small appropriation in the beginning, a larger one, and honestly with COVID, we've had a little challenge getting it full up and running. We want to make sure that we're able to continue it and expand the programs as we're looking to build on the CDLs and the meat cutters, but we want to be realistic in our ask and to what we're doing so far. So DEED has been gracious and worked with us as the bumps came through COVID a little bit. It's been a little challenging, but that's why there is the shift in the support.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So is there a little bit of a carryover from the previous biennium, and that's why this request is lower?
Yes.
Jamie? Okay, great.
Chair Mohammed,
Madam
yes.
Chair.
Senator Pratt?
Thank you. Well, just to kind of piggyback on some of the comments that my colleagues have said, I just, you know, want to reiterate, one of the reasons we gave this such a hard look in 2021 was really seeing how important grocery stores and the people that work in grocery stores through 2020 and the whole COVID lockdowns were in keeping us, quite honestly, functioning as a society and the working conditions. We all remember the run on bathroom tissue and paper towels and sanitary wipes. And, they were there, 12 hours a day helping us out. And they really, in some ways were the unsung hero of 2020. And so it's a good bill. And if we can get people to get into this industry as a career, I think it's a good thing because we've seen how important it is just to an overall functioning society.
Thank you, Senator Pratt. Members, any other questions for Senator Putnam or his testifier? Senator Putnam, closing comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, members, for your expressions of support and your interest in this program. It's important stuff, and you guys are all acknowledging that. And in particular, I want to point out Senator Pratt's comments just earlier. How often does someone come here and say, I don't need as much money as I did before? That's a sign of an organization that is efficient and ethical and is doing good work. So I do hope that we can find a way to support this work because, when we talk about workforce development, we often talk about higher education, we talk about high schools, exposing kids to careers, but we don't talk as much about people who are already doing jobs and helping them realize that it could be a career. And that's one of the things that I really admire about this program. So thank you, Madam Chair, thank you, members, thank you, Ms. Poole, and everyone else for your testimony. I think this is good stuff.
Thank you, Senator Putnam. This bill will be laid over for possible inclusion. Next, we have Senator Pappas, who is joining our committee, and she has Senate File 2571. Senator Pappas also has testifier May Tao. If you want to join Senator Pappas in the testifier's chair. And then we have Vuchu. I hope I'm saying the names right.
Yeah.
Senator
You're
Pappas,
not.
you
That's
can begin.
okay. I probably won't say them right either. Members and Madam Chair, thank you for the opportunity to present this proposal for a direct appropriation grant from deed to the Hmong American Partnership. HAP has been a great partner for the state and Ramsey County for many years in providing not only workforce training but also supportive services for community members. In fact, HAP is the largest social service organization serving the Southeast Asian community in the country. While the Southeast Asian community is a focus for HAP, it also serves community members from 18 nationalities. They just celebrated the grand opening of the 2 new HAP OIC workforce centers that happen to be in my district, one on Plato Avenue and one north of the Capitol on Sycamore Street, which is, the Sycamore Street one is the hub for HAP's transportation social enterprise, which provides both CDL training for bus drivers and heavy auto mechanic training for maintaining buses and other large vehicles. Miniza Tao, President and CEO, will share details about the uses of the proposed organization, and Vuchu will then testify to the impact on the community that HAP has had over many decades now.
Thank you, Senator Pappas. Miniza Tao, if you want to state your name for the record and keep your testimony for 2 minutes.
Sure, Madam Chair. Miniza Tao. Good afternoon, Chair Mohammed and members of the committee. My name is Miniza Tao, and I am the President and CEO of the Hmong American Partnership, or HAP. For over 30 years, HAP's mission has been to help our communities embrace the strengths of their cultures while providing holistic wraparound services to ensure that they can move from poverty to prosperity. And with us this afternoon, we have community leaders, members, and clients behind us as well. HAP, as Senator Pappas has said, is the largest Hmong-led and Asian-led organization in the state, serving over 25,000 people annually. Since 1990, we have placed thousands of people into jobs, and have for the last 3 decades also garnered the credibility and trust of post-secondary education institutions, employers, and businesses. We are an accountable organization that has managed millions of dollars at the federal, state, and county levels. HAP provides college and employment readiness services, job training, job placements to one of the fastest growing populations in the state, our Southeast Asian population. For the past 2.5 years, we've reached over 150,000 Minnesotans through our outreach efforts, job fairs, social and digital media postings. We've enrolled 748 participants into jobs training programs, of which 475 are enrolled in a career training track. Of this number, 70% completed training, 60% received credentialing and/or certification. The median wage of our training graduates is $18. On behalf of the families and communities that we serve every day, we look forward to working with all of you to continue making sure that our state is an equitable and prosperous place to live. Thank you.
Thank you. And then next we have Vu Chu, if you want to correct and say your name correctly and state it for the record, keep your testimony to 2 minutes, please.
Good afternoon, Chair Mohammed and members of the committee. My name is Vu Chu. I am the founder and executive director of the Hmong American Mediation Center and a counsel for the Hmong Ethnic Council organization. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you my testimony in support of Senate File 2571. As a community and clan leader, I have the life experiences to help you understand the vital role that HARP has in our Hmong, Southeast Asian immigrant and refugee communities. HARP has been our communities 211, then 411 and then 911 for jobs, small business support, and community needs. I have seen many nonprofits open and close their doors, but not HARP. They are a nonprofit that you can count on. I have also seen many nonprofits say that they can help the Hmong and Southeast Asian community. But at the end of the day, they can't do what HARP can do. Let me give you 2 examples. Peng Lee came to HARP because he wanted to start a career in ITT. Not only did HARP support him to get enrolled in their training program, HARP also paid for his transportation costs to make sure he could get to class on time. Now, Peng holds an ITT fundamental certificate and is pursuing an ITT A+ certification to make more money. And just last week, Tui Thao received an offer from Cargill to join their company as a research and development data analyst because of his relationship and training with HARP. These are jobs that on average pay $20 to $22 per hour. Every penny counts and it makes all the difference, especially when the average household income for our population is below the poverty line. We trust the state of Minnesota because HARP trusts you. When HARP say they will deliver, we can count on their words and their action. We, the Hmong and Southeast Asian community, trust and fully support HARP. Thank you for listening to me, share my community's experiences, and why you must support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before we get to questions, folks, if you want to have a conversation, please take it outside so that we can be respectful of the testifiers. Members, questions for Senator Pappas or her testifiers? Senator Nelson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Senator Pappas, thank you for bringing this bill. Excellent testimony. I just have a question on the amounts. So it looks like in 2021, there was $300,000 appropriated for each year, and this is $1 million for each year in the biennium. And we know the 2022 bill did not have an increase in it. So this is like over a threefold increase. And I just would like some information about, is there the capacity to do that and do it well? And what generated the need to increase it by over
Senator
30%?
Pappas?
I'll turn that over to Ms. Tao.
Ms. Tao?
Thank you so much, Senator Nelson. And you are correct. We are asking for an increase. With the previous appropriation, we served just a little over 200 participants, and we are expecting with this increase that we would serve over 400, so double the impact. Direct services, including supportive services for our participants in workforce development, total about $4,200 per participant. There is the capacity, as I believe many of you may know, we just celebrated our bonding for our new HAP Academy OIC site on Plato, and that will allow us a physical facility as well to start expanding our workforce development training courses.
Thank you.
Senator Nelson, follow
No
up?
further questions. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Senator Pratt?
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I was going to ask kind of the same question because and if you haven't been out to the Plato site, it's a great site to see. They've done a fabulous job. Senator Pappas, I've enjoyed partnering with you on this bill the last 3 budget cycles because they are doing good work. And can you maybe talk about your diesel program as well? That you've got trainees going through, because I think it's important to know that we're trying to hit those jobs that are in desperate need across the state.
Ms. Tao?
Thank you so much, Senator Pratt, and thank you for your longtime support as well. We currently offer workforce development trainings along the tracks of healthcare, IT, manufacturing, and transportation. And to respond to your question, Senator Pratt, we provide our CDLB training courses for drivers, and in particular trucking and/or school bus drivers, which we all know for many years, even before COVID, there was a workforce shortage. And these are the trainings that we provide, not only to get them licensed to provide these sorts of jobs to our own communities, but then to also offer much needed transportation for our students to get to their schools. We also have mechanics training as well, Senator Pratt, as you know, and that we have yet to launch only because we just launched in the midst of COVID. And so we are gearing up for the mechanics side to do more training around diesel as well.
Senator Pratt, follow up?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Ms. Tao, I was looking at your handout and really intrigued, and I've probably heard this stat a few times, but 3,004 MFIP clients impacted with so people who were receiving public assistance being connected to workforce. And, we've often talked about the fact that, there's the old adage, if you give somebody a fish, they eat for a day. If you teach somebody to fish, they eat for a lifetime. And what I've seen with the HAP program is they give you a fish to eat while they're teaching you to fish for the future. Maybe you can talk about your work with those on public assistance.
Ms. Tao?
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Pratt, and thank you for your kind words. It is true, the MFIP program is a program that we have run for many, many years here at HAP. And, this is what I believe to be the wraparound, holistic serving of the whole person and their families. It's the ability to provide them with the resources needed to get them to a point where we can help them look for jobs, but not just look for jobs. It's about how do we help them put resumes together? How do we prepare them for interviews so that they can move forward into careers? We actually just held a job fair over this past weekend, and we had a great turnout for a Saturday morning. But I just think about speaking with the employers at our job fair and talking about not having our community members come in as just physical labor, but if they are looking for a true career, moving up the ladder so that they can earn a much more sustainable, livable and family sustainable wage, that they have that opportunity. And I will just wrap up this response, Senator Pratt. The OIC model, it's a national model. Louis King, who is president of the National OIC, he always says this, and I will say this as well, the best social service effort is to get people a job. that is the best social service we can provide to our communities.
Thank you. Senator Herr.
Thank you. Okay, good. Thank you, Madam Chair. And I have 3 points to make here. One is that I often say, and Senator Champion, especially recently when he comes to testify in my committee, that the requests here don't look at it as a high margin, but look at it as low margin. So if we can increase the amount from the target budget, please open our mind to that. And being the co-author, so I'm advocating for this dollars as well. And the other part is that the Hmong American Partnership is similar to the IRRB in some degree for the Southeast Asian community. It's serving greatly in all aspects for the Southeast Asian and beyond. It served much more than the Southeast Asian community, like Somali or Latino community as well, that I can attest to. I've been a close ally to the organization. And, I also want to commend Hmong American Partnership, too, on the record, in the Senate committee here, that during COVID-19, you worked with DEED and trying to make sure that, PPP loans and micro business grants are not conventional and that are adapted, that it could really reach the mom and pop business that is needed to, and in terms also the PPP loan too. So I want to commend your work for that. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator Herr. Members, any other questions for Senator Pappas and or her testifiers? Senator Pappas, closing comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't usually like to make closing comments, but in this case, because we all know that as a cold weather state, and it's still cold today, we don't have enough people moving to our state, and we have a desperate workforce shortage situation. So when we have these long-established groups that have been doing the job of getting the immigrant communities with the culturally specific support that they need, with the language support that they need, with the social service support and housing that they need into the job market, that's really going to be very significant for us. And I know this truck driver thing has been a shortage for a while, so that's especially important.
Thank you, Senator Pappas. This bill will be laid over for possible inclusion.
Thank you, members.
Awesome. Next, we have Senator Kupec. Please approach the testifier table with Jenna and Amy, and please begin your testimony for Senate File 2085.
Good to see you again.
Senator Kupec, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I have Senate File 2085 for you today. As we continuously work to address Minnesota's workforce shortages, we know that it is critical to not to leave anyone on the sidelines, and that includes individuals with disabilities. When provided with the right support, individuals with disabilities can gain skills needed to be great employees that we need to our workforce. And MICC is a group that can do that. I had this group showed up at my office with some of their students and clients, and I just found the work that they were doing to be amazing and was really happy to be able to carry this bill for some funding for them. So they have a successful record that really completely crushes national statistics and provides the support that their participants need to obtain and retain employment. The funding in this bill is crucial for their ability to expand their career services and serve more Minnesotans that need the support. MICC's results are clearly show that it is not a lack of ability that keeps individuals with disabilities out of the workforce. It is a lack of options for skills training and support, and they are here to fill that gap. So I'll ask for you for the support of the funding of this bill, and I really think that MICC is something that we should try to replicate in more places around the state for the great work that they do. And I do have a couple of testifiers with me.
Thank you, Senator Kupec. Your first testifier is Amy Godsmetz. I'm going to say it. Hold on. Godmested?
Very good.
Okay. That's close enough. If you want to state your name for the record and then begin your testimony, keep it to 2 minutes.
Yep. My name is Amy Goodmestead, the Executive Director at Minnesota Independence College and Community. Chair and committee members, I'd like to thank you for your time today as I speak in favor of Senate File 2085. MICC provides a post-secondary college program and after-graduation services to young adults with autism and learning differences. With the autism diagnosis on the rise, this is a critical time to expand our programs to serve more individuals who need our services. This bill would support the work we do around the workforce for our participants post-graduation. We are also working to expand our services to assist more Minnesotans with disabilities to get the job training and support they need to be successful, and this funding is crucial for that mission. We are proud of our programming and the success of our participants achieve, far exceeding national statistics. Only 1/3 of individuals with autism have any sort of post-secondary education. Less than half have held any kind of paid employment within 4 years of graduating from high school, and 87% continue to live with their parents after high school. At MICC, we provide opportunities for these young adults to completely transform their future by gaining the skills they need to live independently, secure and maintain meaningful employment, and be a part of a community where they feel accepted and appreciated. The handouts before you provide additional information on our programming, but today we're going to focus on the careers services. Our careers program emphasizes integrated, competitive work for adults with autism spectrum disorders and learning differences by providing high-quality experiential learning opportunities and employment support services. We strive to change the perspective in the current state of employing individuals with disabilities. MICC provides vocational skill building curriculum, practicum experiences, and employment support services. One of MICC's strategic goals is to expand our impact, which includes serving more people. At MICC, we continually monitor Minnesota's workforce needs and are committed to providing training and opportunities to our participants for those high-need job areas. MICC's career certificates include retail, hospitality, culinary, and health services. We are proud of the employer relationships we maintain who is hiring our participants, and you can find them at over 50 local employers such as Delta, Walgreens, Presbyterian Homes, Best Buy, Speedway, the Guthrie, the YMCA, and more. We know that our program works. Our current employment rate is at 98%. Our services are designed to assist participants who are seeking employment to learn the opportunities within the community and choose outcomes that are based on their preference, strengths, abilities, and needs. Once employment is obtained, participants have the option to receive job retention supports, such as training at the new job, problem solving, job advancement, transportation to the job site, and continuing education sources. It is important to note that MICC provides a strong financial return on the investment to the state of Minnesota. Wilder research found that for every dollar invested from the state of Minnesota, there is a $38 return. With your permission, Chair, I would like to share testifier Jenna Olson.
Thank you. If you have more to say, you can certainly send it to us. We appreciate you. And Jenna, if you want to begin your testimony, state your name for the record.
Thank you. My name is Jenna Olson. I am a 2020 graduate of MICC. I'm originally from Duluth, Minnesota. Now I'm a resident of Richfield. I have autism, ADHD, and generalized anxiety. For me, MICC was honestly like a dream come true. There are very few options for education and career services after high school for people like me who have ASD. MICC seemed like the perfect fit to help me successfully transition from high school to the real world. When I was in the undergrad program, I participated in the Health Services Certificate program, and now I am a pharmacy technician for Walgreens. Main tasks are typing and filling prescriptions, answering phones, and providing good customer service. I never envisioned that I could have a position like this, but through MICC's intensive career program training, I gained the tools and confidence that I needed to get this job. MICC helped and supported me through the whole employment process with resume assistance, mock interviews, being there to answer any questions I had, and always reminding me to believe in myself and my ability to be successful. Having the people at MICC in my corner was a game changer, both for my job and my everyday life. Even though I graduated in 2020, I'm still a part of MICC through the community program, which gives me access to their career services. I have an advisor who I meet with once a week just to check in. I'm not sure what life would be like if I didn't have the support I needed from MICC. I have grown so much, both personally and in my career choices. MICC has given me an entirely new perspective on life, and now the possibilities are endless. I would like to say thank you for letting me speak today. MICC has helped so many students like me with autism and learning differences reach our full potential and find our career paths in high-need job areas in Minnesota. Because of MICC, I am now a proud working Minnesota taxpayer and great contributor to my community. When you support this bill, it is you saying that you believe in me and others like me, and for that I cannot thank you enough, and I am happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jenna. That was powerful. Members, Senator Nelson.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to say well done, and I've supported before MICC in my education bill with specific funding. I know you do a great job, but with that in mind, members, I'd like to offer an amendment, an oral amendment, and it's very similar to the A1 amendment that was added on to 2354. So I'll mention it, and then I'll have Ms. Carlson. So on page 1, line 7, delete the words "a grant" to MICC and insert competitive grants. So it's the same treatment as we did on Senate File 2354. It's $1 million, and I think it's important that we spread that or allow competitive grants to access this, and we know that you would have a wonderful chance because you've done a great job already, but I just think that's an important piece. So that would be my oral amendment, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Senator Nelson offers an oral amendment. Senate Counsel, if you want to repeat it.
Yes, Madam Chair, members, and Senator Nelson. So on line 1.7, delete "a grant to" and insert competitive grants. And on line 1.8, delete MICC.
Senator Kupec.
We will take that amendment.
All right, they take that as a friendly amendment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, that passes. First time chair. Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to thank Senator Kupec for bringing this bill. I happened to be talking to a school board member today, and she mentioned that her graduating senior was going to be joining your program next year. And I got to admit, I didn't know much about it, and it was very interesting, so I appreciate it. Ms. Olson, congratulations. You did a great job testifying, and you have a really motivating story that I hope gets told a lot.
Thank you.
Because there are a lot of opportunities out there, and we need everybody. I had a little smile when you mentioned you were a Minnesota taxpayer, and we don't want you working just for taxes, but we appreciate you paying them.
Thank you.
Senator Draham.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for bringing the bill forward. Thank you both for your testimony. I won't repeat what Senator Pratt said. But, as an employer, I've hired autistic kids to work for me, and fantastic employees. It's, as an employer, it helps to get to know your employees and to understand where they're coming from and make sure you put them in the right role. And I think this program will help with that, so thank you.
Thank you, Senator Draham. Senator Housley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I, too, Senator Kupec, want to thank you for bringing this forward. My nephew is autistic and has now graduated from high school. He lives in Georgia, but they don't have programs like this. And it's a struggle in that household. I just took a picture of this and sent this to my sister, and I said, I need to get you in contact with MICC to see how we can get this implemented in Georgia, because little Austin has been looking for a job and not able to land one lately. So thank you very much.
Members, any other questions for Senator Kupec or his testifiers? Senator Kupec, closing comments?
Sure, and you know, it goes also beyond, you know, the educational component about this. It's about learning to live together, get along with other, you know, deal with roommates. Maybe you've never had to do that, and then the fact that it continues after graduation to help with anything else that might arise in the workforce. I just think it's an outstanding program.
Thank you, Senator Kupec. This bill will be laid over for possible inclusion. I have another commitment I have to head to, so I'll have Senator Gustafson come and fill in for me as the chair. Thank you. Senator Kupec, you can begin Senate File 2595.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate File 2595 will provide $18 million to capitalize the Small Business Revolving Loan Fund of the 6 initiative foundations which serve economic development and catalysts in greater Minnesota. Under this proposal, each of the foundations would receive $3 million. The initiative foundations are independent community foundations that provide grants, business loans, leadership programs, and donor services that spur economic growth and prosperity in greater Minnesota. Each foundation serves a distinct geographic region of greater Minnesota. And I know the West Central Initiative, which is in my district, their fingerprints are all over so many economic projects that have gone on in our part of the state. In 1987, the legislature and the agency that is now DEED helped create the foundation's revolving loan program. The state provided additional funding in 1993, 2014, and in 2016. Those dollars were invested some more than 35 years ago, and they are still out there circulating, roaming around the Minnesota economy, helping small businesses get going. As payments on the loans come back to the foundation, those dollars keep returning to the greater Minnesota economy. To build on the investment that this body made back in 87, 93, 2014, and 16, the Senate has the ability to take $18 million of one-time money today and invest it in our long-term partners in the Initiative Foundation and turn that $18 million into ongoing money so that 30 years from now, entrepreneurs in greater Minnesota will continue to benefit from the thoughtful investment that we can make this year. And I have a testifier with me. Tony Surdich is here.
Thank you, Mr. Surdich. You state your name for the record, please, and you begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Committee. Tony Surdich, President and CEO of the Northland Foundation. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you today. As the Senator said, the 6 Minnesota Initiative Foundations are regional community foundations that are independent of each other, but work collectively and sometimes collaboratively to serve 80 of the 87 rural counties in Minnesota for the past 35 years. We started with support from the McKnight Foundation based on responding to the economic challenges that greater Minnesota was facing in the 1980s, and we have each evolved over time to not just respond to challenges, but help our communities take advantage of their strengths and opportunities and meet them where they are. And so we look at a lot of the equity that we work on as place, race, and class, being less population dense. And each initiative foundation tackles their challenges and opportunities uniquely, but we all serve in this role of an economic catalyst for our regions. And we've done so in partnership with the state, not just with the support that we've been given in our revolving loan program, but we've helped administer Main Street programs, COVID relief programs, and others. And so I think we serve a great function of being close enough to the ground and understanding and knowing our communities and being in relationships with our communities and entrepreneurs, but also large enough to be able to administer some of these programs for the state and our revolving loan program. You know, at the Northland Foundation, when we last received state support for this back in 2016, we were funded at about $357,000. And what that meant for us is we were able to provide 5 loans ranging from $50,000 to $100,000. 3 of those loans were for business startups and 2 for expansions. Historically, at the Northland Foundation, we've been repaid 94% of the time from this loan program. And so we have a good track record, as our other colleagues do at the other 5 initiative foundations. I know I'm running short on time, so I'm open to answering any questions that the committee would have.
Thank you, Mr. Surdick. Any questions, members? Senator Pratt.
Thank you. Madam Chair, Mr. Surdick, I'm just kind of wondering, as we look, you mentioned the previous appropriation, $18 million, $3 million to each of these, none of which, cover, let's say we have supports within Hennepin and Ramsey County, we've got supports outside the metro counties, but we got kind of a desert within the suburban ring. 2 questions. One, can you tell me where else you're getting your loan proceeds to fill your corpus? And 2, is there any thoughts of meeting the unmet need within the 5 suburban ring counties, which are both, in many cases, if I think about Senator Draheim's district he just left, there are parts of his district within Scott County that probably look more like greater Minnesota than they do, say, suburban Minnesota.
Mr. Surdick.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Senator Pratt. Great question. So we receive proceeds from other philanthropic organizations, larger foundations. We are a CDFI as well, and so we apply and receive some federal dollars from time to time. And then we actually will get funding from local banks sometimes as well in our region. To your question about geography, that is a very good point that you make, and as somebody who drives, and today will drive all the way through all of those types of districts, we were set up to be place-based. And so I think it would take other entities to be set up, regional community foundations, if you will, to be set up and meet those specific needs. But as we were set up, we are prescribed. So in northeastern Minnesota, we serve the 7 counties and 5 tribal nations. And so that was just the genesis of that. So I don't think there's anything we could do specifically as a foundation. It would, and I would think it would be better served to have people closer to that community to establish those sorts of entities.
Thank you, Mr. Surdick. Senator Nelson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a comment. Certainly, I'm familiar with SMIF in my neck of the woods. Highly successful. It has done remarkable things. And I'm glad to see a broad bill like this that supports Minnesota Initiative funds across the state. I do have just one question, though, just a procedural question. CDFI, is each MIF its own CDFI, or is there one CDFI?
Mr. Surdick.
Madam Chair, Senator Nelson, great question. We are all independent of one another, and only 3 of the 6 of us are currently CDFIs right
Which
now.
ones?
That would be us, the Initiative Foundation, which serves Central Minnesota, and the Northwest Initiative Foundation. But the other 3, West Central, SMIF, and Southwest, are not at this time.
Senator Nelson? Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. I will have some questions for you we can take offline to try and understand why that might be. Thank you so much.
Senator Kupec, closing comments.
I really just can't add enough that the great work, at least I know in the West Central Initiative, has done in our area, and I would hopefully, hold this over and consider supporting it in the omnibus bill.
All right, thank you so much. This bill will be laid over for possible inclusion. And our final bill is Senate File 2634 with Senator Hoffman.
Best for last. How many amendments does he have, Madam Chair?
It's a surprise. Senator Hoffman, when you're ready, you may begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. There's an A1 amendment that actually made a slight adjustment on accuracy for dollar amounts. So I need somebody from your wonderful, fabulous committee to move that A1 amendment.
Senator Draheim moves to accept the A1 amendment. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? It's accepted.
Thank you. Madam Chair and members, this bill, Senate filed, first of all, thank you for hearing 2634. Bills to provide critical funding to African immigrant organizations that serve minority communities.
You hear the term BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color, and underserved populations that have faced discrimination for many years in Minnesota. What this does is it provides resources directly to organizations working to serve some of our most underserved communities that especially were impacted heavily by the pandemic, and it rebuilds our most vulnerable communities through the creation of these businesses and providing support to already existing businesses of color. What Senate File 2634 will be used is to allow these organizations to leverage other resources such as access to capital that will bring much needed support to those businesses. It will fund the organizations to provide culturally appropriate training to start businesses, offer technical assistance and support to ensure their continued success. These organizations work with micro businesses at very grassroots level and are very often left out in the equation. Micro businesses are a critical part of the economic engine for our community, especially in the urban core and for the first-ring suburbs. For most communities, they're a stepping stone for people to get first into business and later into the pipeline that we need for small businesses that eventually grow into medium size and some large businesses. I can give you some prime examples of that. You ever seen a bus company called MTN Transportation? It started with one bus providing services for a school district. And the gentleman that I know, Tashida Tufa, who lived in Champlin, beautiful city of Champlin, now has, if you see a lot of transportation providers, it started with one and then grew and grew and grew. So what this does, and let me just highlight, African immigrants contributed $2 billion to the state's economy, but are poorly funded by the state. Professor Bruce Corey, as you know, from the University of Concordia, I think it's now a university, isn't it? Or is it still Concordia State? Doesn't matter. That state funded less than $6 million in state procurement for African immigrant businesses, yet the state spent billions of dollars in procurement for other businesses. And so what this bill does is it serves as a tool that we can use to continue addressing the inequity gaps within our communities and providing the funding for these organizations. We're using the investment strategy that is regenerative and will continue to show high returns. As I highlighted to you with a small little one bus company moved on, our investments for decades to come that benefit not just individuals but the whole state, Madam Chair. And with me is Jude Nadi, who is the CEO of Padillo Consulting, and Nailima Sitati Munini, who, I even say that every time, Munin, Executive Director of African Career Education and Resources, Inc. ACER is right in this beautiful little town of Brooklyn Park. So with that, Madam Chair, I offer you our testifiers.
Thank you very much. Please state your name for the record, and you may begin when you're ready.
Thank you. My name is Jude Nadi. I'm a small business owner, founder of Padillo Consulting. I am also board member, Council for Minnesotans of African Heritage, who advise the governor and the legislatures, including you, on issues that affect blacks in the state of Minnesota. I am also external advisor to the Governor Ward's engagement team on inclusive economic development. I wear many hats. When I came to this country, I already had a master's degree in engineering, but I couldn't get any job. So I had to start with Medtronic at $11 an hour, taking care of myself and my wife who was pregnant. Many immigrants in our state today suffer the same challenge that I faced when I came to this country. So we don't get the right job. And then because of the history of discrimination, we navigate towards business. And when I started my business, I didn't have the social support system. I didn't have the funding. I didn't have what it takes to do well. So I struggled. So today, I'm asking that you support this business because from my experience, organizations like African Development Center, who are part of this bill, they provide services to underserved businesses. So some of the things ADC does is that they provide culturally competent technical assistance and loans to businesses in underserved community. They also provide homeownership education and training to support people like us to own home. And we know that American dream is built on home ownership. They also need capacity as well to expand to greater Minnesota because we know that some of these cities like Wilmore, St. Cloud, Rochester, and other places, they are growing in population, especially people of color. So with this bill will help to boost entrepreneurship support our local economy, and also build grassroots development. And this will help us to build generational wealth so that my children will not suffer the same thing with my master's degrees and business administration, and I was underemployed for almost 20 years. So I ask you to support this bill so that we'll be, because when everybody does well, all of us do well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nadi. And Ms. Muneen?
All right. Good afternoon.
Please state your name for the record.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you so much.
Sure. My name is Nalima Sitati Munene. I'm the Executive Director of ACER. ACER is the African Career Education and Resources, Inc. We're an issue-based organization, and our mission is to close the inequity gaps that exist within our communities. Today, I'm here to testify on behalf of this bill, which is a collaboration of a number of organizations that provide technical assistance to our micro businesses and small businesses as well, not only in the BIPOC community, because we're all nonprofit organizations, we essentially end up serving everyone who is underserved. I'll talk a little bit and give an example about ACE's work. The work of ACE's economic development work is to support both Black, Indigenous, and people of color and minority businesses and micro business owners who are the economic backbone of our diverse communities, and especially in the northwest suburbs. This goal has been achieved through policy advocacy at the state and local level, through providing education and networking events with community members and business leaders, and our continued free technical assistance that we offer for small businesses, as well as connecting businesses to training and mentorship programs. For years now, ACER has been providing free technical assistance services to predominantly BIPOC and Black immigrant small businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs. The technical assistance we provide is intensive and provides wraparound services to ensure the success of the businesses that we serve. We do this through providing culturally appropriate services to BIPOC businesses. We contract with consultants who provide expertise to our clients in the areas of marketing, accounting and bookkeeping, financial advising, human resources, and business planning and strategy, all which are critical for our micro businesses to be successful. Most of the businesses that we end up serving are salons, barbershops, ethnic boutiques, ethnic grocery stores, which are really important because they help to close the food desert challenges that we have in our communities. These businesses are a critical part of our economic engine for our region and our state. Micro businesses are the ones that provide a pathway of growing wealth in our community for generations to come. These businesses are also a major source of employment in our communities that are already disproportionately impacted by unemployment, through offering self-employment opportunities to these entrepreneurs and also employing our community members. As an example, last year, ACER provided technical assistance, intensive technical assistance with wraparound services to over 156 businesses. We offered over 1,625 hours of technical assistance. The demographics of the people we served were all micro businesses. They were mostly between the ages of 25 to 70 years old. Most of them resided in the suburbs. We offered 4 cohorts of training of small businesses, and through that, we were able to help 48 people open brand new businesses.
Ms. Menene, if you could just make your closing comments, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Yes. And so in total, last year, we leveraged over $500,000 that we received in public funding to bring in over $1.5 million in the form of grants, loan programs, and from private foundations and other sources to BIPOC businesses in the form of capital investments and to inject more capital into businesses. So we're asking that you support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions? Senator Nelson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Hoffman, what an interesting bill. I can see a lot of good things here. We have a growing Somali population in Rochester, and I'm just looking, I don't see how would they benefit from this bill. I'm thinking about the amendment that we added on to Senator Kupec's bill, which is to do competitive grants. And I was just looking, is it about just over 14 million in your bill here? Total?
Madam Chair and Senator Nelson, close, yeah. If you add that, there was the changes that we made. But here's the interesting thing. These organizations that are structured in here, they're statewide. They have a statewide leverage on it. And it's not just the Horn of Africa, Somalia or Kenya, the East African, what you have outside it. And here's a thing you'll really appreciate. Outside of Liberia, West African country, right? The largest population of Liberians in the United States outside of Liberia happen to be right here in Minnesota. Matter of fact, the Honorable Consulate General for the place in Minnesota is with us today. Jackson George, Honorable Jackson George, is in the crowd. He's the Consulate General right here in Minnesota. Senator Fong, her knows him well. I mean, it's just, so you're seeing this massive influx. And the other thing, to your point, Bruce Corey, it's absolutely, Dr. Bruce Corey is absolutely this, a wonky wonk when it comes to, leveraging dollars and what it means for the business investment. What does it mean for investment in Minnesota? And it would be worth, I think, either this committee or any committee to actually get, Dr. Corey in front to talk about what he knows. And the one thing that always got me was the Alana businesses in the state of Minnesota, that $2 billion, that's what it means to the state economy. It's absolutely brilliant work. I know Senator Pratt has seen his work in the past, and that continues to be part of this. So to your point, Senator Nelson, thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Nelson and then Senator Pratt.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So that is to my point. I mean, we have great Sudanese population. We have a huge growing population of African immigrants in Rochester. But my question is, I don't see how they would, like, I'm looking for the Somali American Social Service Organization. They do phenomenal things in Rochester. Omar Noor has received remarkable grants, done great work with our youth and our business and our African business development. And so I guess my question is, I don't see where the reach is beyond a certain area here. So I'm looking at perhaps, and I will perhaps talk with you offline, looking at either a competitive grant structure so that we can make sure that those dollars get throughout the state to those agencies, those often nonprofits who are doing this good work, or adding a particular line in there, and I'd be glad to connect you with Omar Noor in Rochester for the Somali American Social Service group. They do a phenomenal job. So I won't offer that amendment today, Senator Hoffman, but I will be chatting with you about that. Look forward to chatting with you about that in the future.
I have no doubt, Madam Chair, Senator Nelson and I look forward to chatting with you. It's absolutely wonderful. You know the story I told about the one bus? It started with a business of one bus, MTN Transportation, and that individual is from Ethiopia. And outside of Ethiopia, the Oromo population is the largest here. I mean, we really have this richness, and so I want to make sure I love working with you, Senator Nelson. You know that, so I look forward to our chat. So with that, Madam Chair, thank you everybody for hearing this. And
thank you, Senator Hoffman.
Laying it over, or what are you doing with it?
Well, we got one more comment from Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't know if it's much of a comment as looking at the bill and putting my unique lens on it. I have a couple of questions regarding a couple of the provisions, just for clarity. Senator Hoffman or one of your testifiers, there's $2 million to purchase commercial real estate targeted at, for loans to purchase commercial real estate targeted at African small business owners. And my question with that is, when the loan proceeds are being paid back, who are they going back to? Is there any other capital being put into this loan fund and from the private sector? And who owns the property in case of default? And
Senator Hoffman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's that NDC development piece in there too, and that's already a structured organization. On that specific question, do you happen to know the leverage side of it, where that default money goes to?
That's a technical question that we would like to follow up with you, especially with ADC and African Economic Development Solutions, who actually manage the loans. So they will have a more technical answer to that.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, and to Senator Pratt, you know Jean Giglia from ADC, African Development Center, but we would absolutely follow up with you to clean it up. Actually, I probably got somebody back here that could answer that question for you. So, no, we're good. Thank you.
All right. Oh, Senator Pratt.
So I think I missed it. What, do we have any other funds coming into this loan program? How much is state, how much is from private sources?
Ms. Manene.
I'm not here to speak for those organizations, but as Senator Hoffman has indicated, it's a well-established organization, and I do know they get a lot of funding from different sources, also from some of the private banks and from private foundations, and also from the federal government as well. So this is not the only source.
All right, thank you. So, one more, Senator Pratt.
I got more than.
Oh, I'm so excited. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, and thank you for that, and I appreciate that. It would, you know, I know we've talked about operational expenses in the past, but not necessarily specific to a new loan fund. And so that's why I'm asking specific to the loan fund rather than what some of the operational pieces would be. Because I know you do get philanthropy across the board. I would be interested to know how much more is going into the loan fund from private sources. So if I think of, a capital project, we typically expect about a 50-50 split between state and private funds, which is kind of goes along to my question on page 2, section 4. It looks like there's $3 million to the new African, to NDC, for operational infrastructure, which I'm assuming again is a building, as well as operational technical expenses. Wondering how that amount of money is split between the hard asset and kind of the same thing is what is, I mean, is there other money going into that building besides what the state portion is, and will the state recoup any money if the building is sold?
Senator Hoffman.
Madam Chair, and I might have an answer for you on that, but you're drawn to the exact point. What's the fiscal breakdown on that piece of it? And I'll be more than happy to get all those to you on that as this bill either moves its way through. But with that, Madam Chair.
If you could state your name for the record and then proceed when you're ready.
Yes, Madam Chair and the rest of the senators, my name is Assad Al-Waid. I'm the President and CEO of New American Development Center. New American Development Center is a community-based organization that works in economic development and housing. It's a East African Somali-led organization. And just to start with Senator Nelson's comment about Rochester, actually Omar Noor is a key partner with us, and he knows this. He's very aware of this bill. So just want to give you that. For the rest of the question about the building, first of all, we are a CDFI TA. There's a different CDFIs. CDFI Business Technical Assistant, CDFI FA, which is a financial. We're also partnered with the DEED. We manage a EELP loans for DEED, Emerging Entrepreneurship Loan Programs for DEED. So this building, basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a business incubator where a new and existing entrepreneurs will be able to come in businesses, share their talents, and not only doing a business, but also doing a entrepreneurial spirits, sharing ideas. And this is focusing not only in Minneapolis, but also throughout the Twin Cities, in Eden Prairie, Shakopee. Our organization is based originally in Eden Prairie, so we work very closely with Shakopee, Eden Prairie, southwest suburbs of Hennepin County. And the loan payback is, this is public money. We also have a private funders like McKnight Foundation, Minneapolis Foundation, Otto Bremer Foundation. All those are also partners of our business lending programs. and we get funding from that, from the private foundations.
Senator Pratt, follow-up?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we're getting money from the private foundation for the building, and the building will be located, did I understand, in Shakopee then?
No, building will be located in Hennepin County, and not Carver Counny.
Senator Pratt?
I'd like to make an amendment to make it Shakopee.
To the testifier?
I know. But a lot of senators, a lot of communities that we work with in housing, and I know back in the COVID, we managed $11 million for Minnesota housing to pay rent, utilities, and I actually got an inquiry from you asking Somalis and other immigrants in Shakopee should get access to this. Minnesota Housing Finance Agency called me and asked me, and I provided the record to them. I really appreciate for your fight in your area.
You're not going to take his amendment.
Senator Pratt, follow-up?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, and it's nothing against the organization. I always have concerns when we use state money to buy private organizations, businesses, and land and building, those hard assets, because it seems like the state is often the last dollar lost, and it's the banker in me that always looks out at the end of the contract and says, what happens when the relationship dissolves, and eventually all relationships dissolve, right? So what happens when the building is sold? Those types of things. How much is going to be state money? How much is going to be private money going into this building versus the other work that you did? As you mentioned, there are different CDFIs, and the CDFIs are lending out, but it looks like this is specifically for your organization, which maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I didn't think would be running through the CDFI, but would be really a direct appropriation for building that hard asset. And I'd just like a little more clarity around the state's role, what other funds are coming in, and what happens, what does the state recoup, if any, if the building is sold 10, 15, 20 years down the line?
Senator Hoffman or the testifier?
Madam Chair and Senator Pratt, when I do this is based on a Mills versus DC decision in 94-142, and you always say, stop getting in the weeds. You just got in the weeds on something that I want to know. You rattled off some acronyms that I've never heard before as your banker. I think, but you're bringing up some key points, and what we'll do as this bill is going through the next couple of months is we need to follow up. You seem to know you've had the connection, but I think from the committee's viewpoint on asking clarification from what you just said, because I'll tell you, you just spoke public law 94-142 language to me, which I understand and you do partially, but what you just said was trying to be funny on that, Eric. Would you do that?
Senator Pratt.
I'm just glad that Senator Hoffman is as confused by our conversation as I am from most of the ones he leads.
I'm confused too. Anybody else? Any other questions, members? All right. With that, this bill will be laid over. Oh, Senator Hoffman, closing comments?
I just said I appreciate you. I do. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair and members. This is, I've learned something today, and I'm going to look forward to working with you as we go forward. So thank you.
Thank you. With that, this bill will be laid over for possible inclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members.
Members, that concludes our business for this meeting. That was quick. As a reminder, we will be back for additional bill hearings today at 5:30 p.m. and we'll have a very full agenda.
Madam Chair, before we adjourn.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know we're on deadline week, and the idea of second deadline is to make sure we're hearing policy bills and moving them out. It seems like we're hearing a lot of bills that stay in this committee. I'm wondering, what's the need for the additional meeting when we seem to be looking at bills that stay in this committee and really aren't affected by second deadline? When we have authors and resources that need to be put towards second deadline?
Senator Pratt, that's a good question. We need to get our omnibus bill done by April 4th, and I think we have a lot of bills that we need to hear until then. So that's what the meeting for this evening is. All right, and so I have to say this because Senator Champion asked for it. Please be on time today. That's also for me at 5:30 p.m. And this meeting is adjourned.